Now we're going to see about purchase requisition creation in S4HANA. The topics will be covering purchase requisition document flow and how to maintain the purchase rec in S4HANA. So in a typical scenario, what happens is, first of all, we create a purchase requisition, and then from the purchase requisition we create a purchase order. Now from the purchase requisition we can also create a request for quotation. That's optional, but in generally we create a purchase order as a reference from the purchase requisition. Then step number third is we create a goods receipt, and finally we create the invoice. So this is what we're going to see in how we can do it in S4HANA system. So let's create a new purchase requisition first. So here first I'll show you in a GUI, which is exactly same as you have seen in ECC. Then I will show you on the Fury Launchpad. So here you can enter ME51N transaction, or you can use this menu path to navigate to the purchase requisition. So go to Material Management, Purchasing, then Purchase Requisition, and here ME51N. Open it. Okay, so here I can click on this checkbox, source determination, and here I will enter my material number, which is I created before. So shaft 1, 2, 3, enter. Then system is asking me for plant, or enter ZZMM, enter. Then it's asking for quantity. I can say quantity can be, say, 1, enter. And then here under the source of supply tab at the bottom, you can see is showing up the PII record that I already maintained the PII record before. So it's coming up with that PII record because I have checked the source determination on the top. So here that's also, I can now go to the, it's asking for the enter purchase group. So here I can enter the purchase group. So I can type 001 or 002, whatever you like. And here asking for the valuation price. So I can say the price can be, say, $6. And that's it. And now you can save it. So that's how we typically create the purchase requisition in ECC. Exactly same in here. Now I'm going to show you the same thing on the Fury Launchpad. So here you can scroll down and search and find the purchase rec app under the purchase requisition processing group, or here, or you can on the top you can search for app. So I can say here, say for example requisition for example, and then I can press the spelling mistake. So if I type it again, so showing up all the applications that are having this text as requisition. So, but for now I will just press enter, so that it will come back with all the apps with text as requisition. So here you can see they are basically different apps, and there's some with the reporting type as well. But these are the main ones: manage purchase order requisition, manage purchase requisition, then manage purchase requisition professional, then manage purchase requisition centrally. So let me show you all of them. So let me click on the first one, and here on the second tab I will search for the same thing. So here I'll open the second app. So let me do the same thing. I'll search for an app. I'll say requisition and search for it. Here we got the second one, which is a professional one, and then in the last one I will open the third app. I'll search for it, and here I will do it again. Under app I'll say requisition. And this time this is the third one, centrally. Now let me show the differences basically. Now if I open the first one, manage purchase requisition, here it's coming up with all the purchase requisition. Here I can, for example, I can filter. For example, I want to search for the purchase requisition in plant that we created before, ZZMM. I can type here, I can filter it. So now it's, and I can click on go, and now it's showing up all the purchase requisition within this plant only. So you can filter by purchase group, purchasing organization, material group, processing status. So if I open the purchasing status, like not edited or PO created or RFQ created or contract created, stuff like that. So here when you search for it, you can see processing status. For example, here you can see PO created. This is saying not edited, PO created, not edited. So depending on what's the follow-on transaction, it will show you the status here. And here the problem is with this one, there is a create contract. Like if I select something, one of this one, and I can click on create contract, I can refer the purchase requisition and I can create contract, or I can create RFQ, or I can create purchase order. So 3 options are available here when I need to refer a purchase requisition to the next follow-on document. But the problem here is there is no button here for creating a new rec. So it doesn't say that create a new rec from scratch. Now we can ask the UI5 developer to create it, but in standard system there is no button here. Okay, let's go to the second one. So second one, which is a manage purchase requisition professionally. Here this is similar, but let me check something. Yep, this is similar. However, there is with the search option, there are not many search options. Like you can search by editing status. For example, what's the status? My own draft, unsaved, for example, or purchase requisition number. You can search for it. You can click on the search button and then you can search by purchase requisition number, or this document type. What's the document type for the purchase requisition? Now then there's no plant search, there is no purchase organization search, there is no company code search, there is no purchasing group search. So the search option is not really good here, but in this one there is a create button. For example, if we need to create a purchase requisition from scratch, then we can click on this little plus sign and we can create it, right? Okay, I'll come back to this one in a minute, and let me go to the third one. So here we have the manage purchase requisition centrally. Now if I open this, now this app is having some issue. For some reason this app doesn't work. Okay, for example, if I show you, for example, I want to search by plant and I enter ZZMM. If I press enter, it's just showing up that error that you have entered inconsistent or invalid data in one or more fields. Fix error before continuing the search. So it doesn't really work for some reason. So if I remove it and if I say search for supplier, so supplier I remember is 2410, press enter, same error. So this app doesn't really work, so we can leave it like that, and probably with the next edition, next release, they might fix it. But with 1809 release, this app has this issue. Okay, anyway, we can use the other app. So here we are, I can click on this create button. If I click on this plus sign, it will show the create screen. Now this screen is pretty much similar that you have seen in the GUI, where we just created a new rec. So here I'm going to do the same thing. I can click on the automatic purchase requisition checkbox so that it can find the source automatically. Then I can, this is the item tab, this is the limit items. So for example, under the item tab, I can click on this plus sign, which is add new item. So it's asking me whether I want to create, whether I want to add a material, whether I want to add a service, or items from the cross catalog, or items from the external catalog. So in my case, I'll say I want to add the material. Select it. It will then open the item detail screen. That means it's going inside the item detail. So here I can enter the material code. So I can type here shaft 1, 2, 3. So it will show up all the material with the same name. So that's the first one. I can select it. Then I can also enter here asking for the quantity. So I can say that my quantity is, for example, I can say quantity I need is 7, for example. Enter and check if there's any other mandatory field. There isn't any. There's some warning, that's fine. And you can click on this 2 warning messages. If I click on it, it's saying there's a one warning, can delivery date be met? That's fine. And there's another one which is error, enter the purchasing organization. So here I need to enter the purchasing organization. So let me close it. Purchase organization, we need to, let me go back. Let me click on the apply button. Let me click on apply button, I'll come back. Okay, let me go to the detail again. So let me check the error. Enter the purchasing organization. It should pick up it automatically. Okay, let's continue. I'll check that in a minute. So here we scroll down and you can see different fields. For example, you can see the quantity field. If later on if you want to close it, you can click on this checkbox. If it's closed, if it's fixed, you can check this box. Fixed means MRP will not change it. Planned delivery time coming from your purchase PIR record. And I can further scroll down. Valuation, I need to enter a price here. So for example, I can enter price, say $5. Press enter, and then again I scroll down here, and here is the purchasing organization. So here I entered my purchasing organization ZZMM. I was thinking it to be on the top somewhere, but anyway, let's select it, press enter, and purchasing group as well. So under purchasing group I enter 001, enter. That's all. And then scroll down further. There's a delivery address if you want to enter some address here. There's some text notes. If you want to add some attachment, you can click on this, add a link, or click on this to upload from your desktop. Scroll up. Now here within the source of supply, it's reading up one info record that already created before. This is a record number and that's the info record number. If you click on, now if there is more than one source of supply, for example, there can be a contract, there can be a scheduling agreement, they all appear here next to this info record. So for example, if there's another contract, you will see another line here. Now you can click on this assign source of supply link. If I click on it, it will open a new tab. So it's saying proposed SOS. SOS means source of supply. So for example, if I click on the info record, and by default it's putting up the plant and material, and I click on go, it will find all the info record. So that's the info record it found. If there's a contract, for example, if I click on central contract, and if I search for it, if there's any contract, that will search for it. Same thing with the agreement or fixed supplier, right? So it will search for it. So for now, I can go to the info record tab. Fixed supplier means fixed supplier. You can find a fixed supplier, for example, if you want to change a supplier. Now, if I go back to the info record, and that's the info record I want to refer, I can select it. That's it. And now I can, so I'm into the detail of the item number 10. You can see on the top here, purchase requisition, item number 10, shaft 123. I can click on this back button. And here we are back on the main screen of purchase requisition. So here you can see, if you want, you can change the quantity on this screen. If you want, you can change the valuation price on this screen. You can also change the material here. If you want to add another item, you can click on this plus sign. Alternatively, you can select this line and you can click on the copy button if you want to copy something. For example, there's another item with the same price, exactly same thing, but you can copy it and change the material code only, and then you have two items, and you can save your time by entering all the data within for the new item. So here, once you are done, you can click on the save button here. Click on save. It will create the purchase requisition number. So here there's a message here, purchase requisition is created. On the top you can see purchase requisition number is 1000664. I can go back, and again, as I said, this is a search screen. There is not, if I just search for, I can search for everything, but there's not good filters available here for searching. Or you can use this app for search, for example, search for the by plant. So you can search by plant, for example. I can scroll down, and this is the one you can see here, 664. Here as well, that's on 664. Now the good thing about this app is, this search app is, this one is, in this app you can, in the first app you can see, for example, that's a rec I just created. Now here you can see this little edit icon. If I click on this little edit icon, it will show you a pop-up where you can change the supplier immediately here. So you don't need to open the full the main screen of the purchase requisition. You can directly change the supplier here. You can directly change the delivery date here. You can directly change the quantity here. For example, here I can say, no, I want the quantity as 9, for example. I can say okay. So I can immediately change it here. That's fine. So you can, let me open it here. So for example, if I click on this rec number and open it, and here you can see, open the wrong one. Let me go back, scroll down. I need to enter the filter on the top again. So I say plant is ZZ, enter. Taking a while to search. Yep, that's the result. So here if I scroll down, so that's the one, 664, and I can select it and go into the detail. Okay, so that's the one. So here you can see it updated the value as well, because we changed the quantity to 9 from 7. So if I go to the item detail, if I click on item detail again, and if I scroll down, now another thing is, before I show you this one, I can go back. Let me go back one more step. Let me show you this one again on the search screen, ZZMM. Scroll down. Here you can see the processing status is not edited. So once we have created the purchase order as a reference for this purchase requisition, the status will be updated to the PO created, for example. If you search for this one here on this app, which is a manage purchase requisition professionally, that's the one. Here it will show you the different status, like it's showing it's approved. It's approved because there's no approval setup, which is, we call it document release, document approval setup. It's not done for the purchase requisition in this system. Now in the later videos, I'll show you how we can maintain the release procedure in SAP. So for now you can see the status here, or I can go back to the other app. So here is saying processing status. So there are two different statuses. So it's approved or not approved. You can click on this setting button and activate or deactivate any, for example, these checkbox are the one that will be displayed. You can scroll down and you can see the other options available that you can add up to see the result. For example, in the search, I can search for status, for example, search for it. There's only this status available. Okay, so I'll leave it like that. So here we are. So there's no approval required because it's not set up. So I can open this one here, and here I can go to the item detail. Click on the item detail. So here you can see all the details that we maintained before. So if I scroll down here, Let me open it here as well. Just want to show you something different. So let me open it here. Same thing. Now, so next step is we need to create a purchase order out of this purchase requisition. So I can go back, and here I search for it again, ZZMM, and select, that's the one, the bottom one. I can select it, and then I can click on create purchase order. So if I click on create purchase order, it will show me the purchase order screen. So it's asking me what document type you want to use. So I can see the drop down. So it doesn't show you the key, only the description of the document type. So here the NB is the standard one, purchase order NB. I can select it, and once you're done, then you can click on the save button. So it will save the purchase order. So it's saying that this purchase order is created. I can say okay. So the purchase order number is ending with 548. So here you can see the status is updated. It's saying PO created. So if I open it, let me scroll down and open the item details. And here now you can see a new tab shown as process flow. So you can click on this process flow tab, or you can scroll down and you will find it at the bottom. So here is showing up the document flow. So first this purchase requisition was created. Now this purchase order is created. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to goods receipt for this purchase order. So either you can open the goods receipt application, or you can do it from here as well. So if you want to do it from here, you can. So there's a flexibility about this, all the application stuff or with the S4HANA. So you don't need to open the new transaction. So most of the stuff you can do from within the same transaction. So here I show you. If I click on it, it's showing me what you want to do. You want to change the purchase order, you want to create it, you want to display this purchase order, you want to see the manage purchase order screen, you want to do a match changes, monitor, or post goods receipt. So I can click on the post goods receipt. Straight away it will go to that screen. It's showing up on the top. You can see the purchase order number. I can select the item. It's asking me for the storage location. So what's the storage location? I can search for it. So production is the PROD is the storage location. So out of say delivery quantity 9, maybe I received it says 6, for example. I can say 6, and I can click on this post button at the bottom. Click on post. So this will complete the MyGo step. So you can click on this link, open the material document overview, or I can just say okay. Now I can go back again. If I search for that application again, so you can do it. You can now search for the. So next step is the Miro. But before that, I show you under the application here. I show you that requisition. This one, manage purchase requisition. So here if I search for plant ZZMM, so if I scroll to the bottom, so that's the one. If I open this purchase requisition and open the item detail of the requisition, so if I scroll down, you will see the updated document flow. So within the purchase requisition as well, the document flow is updated. So here you can see that was a purchase requisition, that is a purchase order, that is a goods we have just done. But if I jump to the purchase order, if I click on the purchase order, say, and I want to display it, say click on display, it doesn't show you any option to from here to do the invoice receipt. It's showing up the GUI type screen. So let me close it. So next step we're going to do is to we're going to do the Miro step. So here I'll go to this app. I can go to the home screen, or I can search for it. So the app name is Create Supplier Invoice, or what I will do, I will just search for the app called Invoice, for example. So here you can see Create a Supplier Invoice app. I can click on it. So here I'm going to do the last step. So here it's asking me for the invoice date. So you can search for a date, or you can type it manually, a date here, press enter, scroll down. Here you can enter the purchase order number. So here, if you can't remember, then you can click on the search button to search for the purchase order. I can say supplier, or you can say purchasing organization, for example. So I'll say 2410 is the supplier. Search for it. So that's the one we have just created. So select it, say OK. Done. So it's showing, so here it's showing you the total balance of 42 in red. So here you can say the gross amount is say 42, and that's it. Make sure that I can click on check, just make sure though no missing field. It's showing up just a warning message, no workflow active. So that's fine. I can close it, and then I can click on post. That's it. So it's showing this is blocked for payment. That's fine. You want to create a new invoice? I will say no. So here, that's it. So here, if you go back and open this page again, it will refresh the page and show you the last step as well. So for some reason it's not doing it. Let me search again. Is that the bottom one? Click on it, open the item details, go to this tab process flow. Now you can see the supplier invoice is also created. So that's how the workflow, the document flow will be shown up. So that's all about maintaining the purchase requisition. So now we learned about how we can how the document flow works for purchase requisition, and how we can maintain the purchase requisition in the S4HANA system. So thank you very much to watch this. We'll catch up in the next video.